Happy Saturday and welcome back to the Marketing MadMen. After technical difficulties, we're getting started, and now I'm more hopped up on energy drinks. So this is going to be fun. So today, this is a conversation I've wanted to have for a while. This is a topic I've wanted to cover just because I find it so fascinating, the way that the energy drink industry popped out of nowhere and is just taken off. Lifestyle, culture, extreme sports, all of these things that came out of people's need for caffeine and to party longer. And anytime someone's partying longer, then I am aboard. So with me, I have the team from Zero FG. Zero FG is a partner of the station. They are a startup company, and it is a product I endorse because it is a good product. So I got the team with me. Why don't we go around? Everyone introduce yourselves real fast.
Hey guys, I'm Sarah Lynn. I don't know where I'm supposed to look, but I'll look at y'all.
Wherever you want, girl. Don't worry about it. It's a podcast. The video is just an added bonus.
Hey guys, I'm Sarah Lynn. I do the social media.
And yes, we put the pretty girl in the front.
Yeah, I'm the star of the show. I do the social media at Zero FG.
I am Brandon Grubbs. I'm the director of operations. I run the company. I just work directly with the owner, Josh Askew. I'll give him a plug. He's the owner of Zero FG. And yeah, I run the company, and fun times are had all the time.
Soft flex.
I'm Jack Spencer. I work in marketing. I wear a lot of different hats. We kind of all work together on a lot of different things. We're a small team. We're just trying to make the best of it.
Bootstrap it, baby. So I think that they're going to write books about this. No one needs to hear me talk about the history of energy drinks, but man, it's been a hell of a 25 years. I mean, you went from, it was coffee, right? I grew up in an Italian. My mother was born in Italy. Like, you drink coffee from when a time I'm like 8, which probably explains a lot about me. But like, we have espresso at 8 and wine, which probably explains more about me. And then there was Coca-Cola, and those are the only things. Like, I loved it. I was drinking coffee in my house. My father was like, caffeine-free soda. Caffeine's the problem. Like, you've never been to Nana's house for dinner. So, but then all of a sudden, let's start with the Red Bull boom. It proliferated so fast, like a rocket ship, and Rockstar and Monster, and who got bought by who invested in who's a Vietnamese and Viennese conglomerate. I mean, the stories are all crazy. What I thought was, the way they blended, again, no one sells a product, right? No one's selling widgets. You're selling a lifestyle. And if you can make your product a lifestyle-based product, it almost sells itself because people are buying in to the culture and the lifestyle more than they are this, right? This is a super good formula, but this is providing caffeine and things that people can find other ways, and sometimes easier ways. There's gum now, and so it's the lifestyle. You have to buy on the lifestyle. So before I toot any of your competitors' horns, what I want to start with is, what's a Zero FG?
Zero FG.
And you can curse if you want to, because I know what it means.
Okay, so we can say this. So Zero FG means something, right? It means zero fucks given, but we lean into that as much as we can without using the F word because of ways to get in retailer outlets and things. We don't want the F word always out there, but most people understand what it means. Yeah. There are a few that do not, and we joke around with folks. We say it's zero field goals. We say it's zero force gravity. I guess I can say this on this podcast. We were in NASCAR in the beginning, and NASCAR asked us what it meant, and we told them zero force gravity because at the time...
but if you're pulling zero Gs, right? If you're doing a turn fast enough, you can lean into that.
Yeah. Right? But because technically it does not mean anything. It's up to your interpretation. But to us, it does mean zero fucks given because of the culture that we have created with the product.
Love it. And I think it plays well into what the industry is, right? Because, you see people, and my favorite is like it's 8 o'clock in the morning and you see a girl walking around and she doesn't want coffee, so she's sitting with a straw and drinking an energy drink, right? Yeah. Those are the people that just don't care. Like, you don't care what people think about you. Everyone knows that one girl at the office that would drink like 6 energy drinks a day and just didn't care what people thought, right? Everybody else is trying to be classy with their Starbucks, and no.
You need the hard stuff.
So it fits the vibe well. But again, it's about a lifestyle. Talk a little bit about, let's go to entry phases. We're talking a ground up company, right? Sure. You guys are a startup. So, we're in the design phase. We're whiteboarding. Okay. Where did the name come up? What was the thought process? Where did the lifestyle come in? What was the vision for all this?
So the vision came from the owner, Josh Askew, and it actually came with during the COVID times when we had the 14 days to slow the spread. He knew that he wanted to create an energy drink. He did not know what he wanted to name the energy drink. Okay. Zero FG came to his brain during those 14 days to slow the spread because, quite honestly, he was a little ticked off that they shut him down, told everybody to go home, and they were trying to control how we all lived our day-to-day life. So Zero FG came to his brain. I know that he called another guy that's in the business with him and said, "Hey, dude, I got the name." And from that point on, they knew that not only did they have a cool name for the product, but they had a lifestyle and a culture that they could push with the product.
I love it. So there's two parts here. One is that you didn't whiteboard anything. You started with the top and then worked your way down.
Correct.
A lot of people start at the bottom and try to pull up to this. They're trying to, but you started with the lifestyle from the top. That's different.
Yeah.
Two, I cannot believe, now this will be my 100th episode of doing the show. I cannot believe how often COVID comes up.
Right.
And I cannot believe how much creative force came from that. And look, I'm not going to say, I'll keep my politics and my personal opinions out of it.
Yeah.
But the amount of creative juice that came out of it just goes to show what this country and the world can do when they're put in those circumstances.
Right. No doubt.
I don't want to say good comes out of it. You don't want to say good came out of 9/11 either, but New York was more together than I've ever seen anything, right? After the Boston Marathon, watching the Yankees play Sweet Caroline. These things for Boston, there's so many things that we do very well when our backs are against the wall as a country and as a people and as a human species.
Yeah.
So I love it. Okay, so we have a name.
Yeah.
Okay, but we have no product, we have no colors, we have no text, we have no logo.
Right.
So talk about some of those stories.
And a lot of the stuff that I talk about happened before I even came on with the company. It was the owner's idea that he was bringing to life.
Sure.
They didn't know what they wanted the flavor to taste like. They didn't know what company that we were going to work with to bottle the drink, right? So that came after all of this, the name and the lifestyle. But that was a journey, honestly, to figure that stuff out and to figure out who we could co-pack with. And we finally found someone in California that we could work with where we actually own the formula. They sent over the flavors. And to be quite honest with you, again, we weren't there, but the first formula they sent over, which is what you have here, is what was sent. Yeah. And they loved it.
That never happened.
They were like, oh, that's it. We want this flavor. So we didn't have to go too far in depth, not a lot of testing on flavors and things, so they went with this. Now, I will speak on the Red Bull.
I can't believe you're so honest about it. Most people are like, we tried 74,000 flavors, painstakingly in a basement somewhere.
No, took one.
First one, zero cheese. You got it.
Exactly.
Here we go.
Perfect. We talk about Red Bull, though, and Red Bull maybe not be a direct competitor of ours. I mean, there's so many in the market, but Josh did build this company by looking at the model that Red Bull built, right? If you know about our product, we only have one flavor, which is what we launched with, which is an original and a sugar-free. He wanted to build it after Red Bull's model. I mean, have the one flavor.
Yeah.
Things have changed a little bit now because of all the competitors that are in the market, and we have people asking for more flavors. Plug now that we are working on other flavors, and that's a little more difficult than just the one that we came in. But that was the model that he wanted to build. So not only did he want to be like, have the one flavor, but the culture that was surrounding it, right? Red Bull has this culture that just has blown up, and the zero FG mentality is a culture that we're trying to create with our product. And so, Red Bull was someone that he looked at very closely to build our product on.
Yeah. And I like how you said they followed that model, but you did it your own way. So, like, for example, if you were to ask me, name Red Bull flavors, I would say sugar-free and regular. Like, I know there are other flavors. I know there are colors, but I don't know because it wasn't part of the model. It was probably the same thing. Enough people asked, like, oh my God, do we really have to do this? But I think it's important because you could SKUs is the word, right? You can't have too many SKUs. One of the mistakes, especially in the beer industry, they try to go to market with 30 SKUs, right? The supermarket only wants 2 SKUs. They only want simplicity. They don't care about your third-level imperial hops with a Filipino sweat built into it that you're making beer out of. Like, that's just not how they want it. They did want real beer. So I think people get a little too big for their britches, and they're like, oh my God, I have the best idea for this. Hold on, guys. You got to sell the first.
You got to get started.
People got to buy into it. Yeah. So what about logo? Was this tested? Did we send this out for a thing, or are we just going to throw? We see a zero, we see a dash through it, zero FGs.
So Josh kind of had the idea of the zero with a line through. He had an artist that he worked with for other things with some other ventures that he's in, and he just called her up and said, "Hey, I'm looking for a logo. This is kind of what I want. Simple, right? It's just a simple logo, but it portrays exactly what we're trying to show is just the zero fucks given mentality. I don't say that often, but I'm saying that.
I brought it out of you. I brought brought it out of you.
I haven't heard him say it in a long
Brought it out of you.
time.
It's just a natural thing I bring it out of people. My Yankee ass brings it out of people. It must be.
But we thought this logo, I mean, it could be very easily recognizable, right? As we grow.
The white and the black supremely help.
Yes.
Everyone else is so into colors, and I don't understand it. All it does is blur.
Yeah.
You can't see it.
Yeah.
You picked, and then you have like the goldish hue that gives a little bit of class and sophistication.
A little luxury look.
A little luxury, if you will. So I think that it is, and again, it stands out on a shelf because everybody else is using so much color or so much whimsy that they're trying to throw into it that it's not utilitarian. And to be honest with you, I think as the world gets more and more messed up, there's nothing wrong with utility. And you have a purpose for drinking this, right? This is not, there's a purpose behind it, which I absolutely love. All right. So what about ingredients? So I know this is someone made it for you, but like there's some stuff in here that like I'm not going to say that you should drink 14 in a day, but it makes you feel a little better about drinking it. So talk about how important the ingredients were and that stuff, because in today's day and age, that is really important.
Yeah, I'll talk a lot. Jack, you want to speak on this? You want me to take it?
You start off. I'll lead into it. I'll help out.
So we have a product that has good ingredients for us. We try to tell people it's not the healthiest thing in the world, but it's definitely healthy compared to some of our competitors out there. It's got your B vitamins in there. The caffeine comes from natural green tea. We have like this little ingredient that we were super stoked about in the beginning. It's blue spirulina, whatever you want to say. And we found out it's a super health.
It's algae.
It's algae, actually.
It's algae.
And it's good for your respiratory system. It's good for your skin. So we really played on that. But what we didn't want to build a drink that had a ton of caffeine in it, honestly. We saw the market trending a little bit with lower the caffeine. I mean, you see stories of people that energy drinks every day having some issues and with heart and whatever. So 140 milligrams of caffeine is about 2 cups of coffee. You know, most people drink
2 small weak cups of coffee. A cup of Starbucks is like 260.
Right.
So preface that because it's actually the exact right amount to get you where you don't crash.
Where you don't crash.
And it's built to not chug, which is nice. I drink coffee a lot faster than I drink this. So this is like that slow release of it, which actually is more like tea. So actually, we're going to go to a quick break. When we're going to get back, we're going to continue the conversation about this because I think the ingredients are fascinating. I think it's important. You've been listening to the Marketing MadMen on Extra 106.3, and we will be right back.